you know.
Well, let's begin there then.
There we go.
Mr. Farrell, how we doing, sir?
I'm good.
Man,
I'm excited to be here.
I am very, man. I sent you a voice note earlier on, man. I was buzzing for this.
You
Man.
better keep them voice notes going, by the way.
I will, bro. Man, that's where it happens. It's all in the voice notes, isn't it? 'Cause you know what it is? Because it's the constant encouragement you're giving to someone.
Yeah.
And that good feedback comes around, man. Then what I feel that it does, it boosts someone's self-esteem and confidence.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing something well, man, it's nice to be rewarded for it and acknowledged.
I think there's a fine line though. You need to be able to take it and move on. Do you know what I mean? If you get stuck there, you'll just dwell in that one spot. You know what I mean?
You use the word there, bro. Dwell in it. Yeah, you need to know. Okay, done that.
It was a very complex sentence that was. We're going straight in.
He's knocking him out already.
Deep and
man,
everything.
we haven't even got the drink on yet, bro. But you're dead right, man. It's like, don't dwell on it, but like acknowledge it. Okay, done well there. Yeah. What's next? And just keep on going on the journey. And we are here tonight, man, to discuss.
We've talked about this for a while, to be fair. We've been in the trenches for so long. We've literally just used this podcast as the benchmark. Like, just get to the fucking podcast. Get there.
Well, to be honest, it was to get to the photo.
To the photo, yeah. But the podcast was the one we were talking about. We're
do you know what, man?
Podcast, we'll sit down.
Do you know what
we'll digress.
Yeah. Do you know what I love about the podcast, man? Is the reflection piece. It's time to we done all the hard work. We've done a lot of hard work. And now it's time to we'll have a little celebration tonight. We got a few bits and pieces that people will see. But it's like, yeah, man, it's like these moments, these moments where you actually can reflect back on something that you done really well and be proud of it as well.
Big time.
I think it's so important. Listen, bro, we're going to go back to the beginning, right? Because I always, at the beginning of these podcasts or these reflection pieces, I always like to, we will reverse it or take it forward all the way, or not reverse it, but forward it all the way to where you are presently. But in the past, bro, we started roughly in and around January, February time, I think it was.
Yeah.
What was your mental state? How were you feeling? How were you looking physically back then? Give us the full brief.
So physically, I was probably the heaviest I've ever been, I think, because I've always been on and off with training for a while. Like, I'd get like little stints of it and then I'd fall off the bandwagon.
Yeah.
And I played sport, obviously, when I was younger. So I was always in kind of half decent. In January was definitely the worst I've ever got.
Been?
Yeah, I'd moved up in sizes and jeans. None of my clothes fitted me. Like, my clothes were like loose here and then really tight down here.
Yeah, around the waist.
Yeah. Oh, just around the gut. You know what I mean, basically.
And what was what had caused the gut to be there?
The old points.
The
points and to be honest, not training and food.
You weren't training at all.
There was no balance. You know what I mean?
There was nothing. You were just enjoying yourself.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
it was all pleasure.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And there was no pain or suffering.
Nothing at all.
You were never in the trenches.
No.
Okay, interesting, man. But it's crazy to see that flip now where you are now. But so yeah, how are you feeling? Like, do you remember?
That was physically, mentally. Like, yeah, obviously with all of that, you're just sluggish.
Yeah.
Like, you're getting up in the morning, and you're like, it's like it's like you've a mist or a fog over your eyes. You know what I mean? And
that's it.
Yeah, it's so you're in slow motion. Do you know what I mean? Or do you ever see like when you're like watching like a movie or something, and they have like that little stutter effect when people are talking?
Yeah, you've had a few points.
Yeah, that's what you're like. You're just not there. You're not sharp. You're not really. You're just. The cognitive function is not rolling. Do you know what I mean? It's not there, and you don't feel great about yourself at all.
And you
really.
had no kind of ambition or energy or even motivation
the drive,
to get to the gym.
You
no drive.
Another thing probably we'll get into later on, but the drive just wasn't there. Do you know what I mean? And it affects you in so many different ways. Like, whatever about looking, like, everyone can get out of shape at different times because you need to enjoy yourself as well. So, do you know what I mean? You can always have a little podger or a bit of a bit of timber there.
Bit of timber, man. I love that phrase. Bit of timber. You had a lot of timber back then.
But back then it was mentally, it was just sluggish. Do you know what I mean? It was like I was in slow motion.
And did you feel like you were like off in all senses? Was it like work related? Obviously in the gym, was just in life.
It's not like it wasn't all the time, but it comes in stages. I mean, obviously you wake up and some days you're in great form. Do you know what I mean? But generally speaking, if you look at that period of time and from like a bird's eye view, and you're looking over that block period, I wasn't really feeling the best at all. To be fair.
And then even like you mentioned, physically, mentally, now in emotional sense, how are you feeling about yourself?
I just wasn't. I had put on weight and I'd moved up in a size and that
bothered
me.
Like, it bothered you.
Yeah, that bothered me.
You took that personally.
Oh yeah, I used it against myself. Like, do you know what I mean? It really was like, fucking you lazy bastard.
Yeah. And what clicked then? What kind of snapped? Was anything in particular?
I don't think it was like one specific moment really. It was more just these little things here and there, and like you got to put on a pair of jeans or something. You're like, jeez, that button ain't coming across, mate. Sorry about it.
Yeah.
That was like those little bits here and there. And do you know what? I'll name drop one of the lads. I was at Printworks. In February. Or it was in March. Can't remember. I was in around then somewhere. And one of the lads, he came back from Printworks and he goes, "Love you, brother, but after putting on a bit of timber there, lad. I was
Man,
like,
you need, man.
And I said it to him only recently. I was like,
Yeah.
I actually needed to hear that.
Man.
I don't mind when someone says that to me.
Not at all, bro.
Do you
Your
know what I
mate,
mean?
this is what your mates are for, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine he was like Molly Collie and like, oh man, you look all
Shout
right.
out
Like,
Jack Woodruff, by the way. Good
there
man.
you go, man. Get him in there. But he's dead right, man. This is what you've got
Yeah,
friends
yeah,
for, man. They have to say things straight to you.
Yeah, well, this is it. And like,
And was
like,
it then? Was it like? Do you remember? I know you weren't saying it wasn't a moment.
That was like a build up. Do you know what I mean? As I said, I'd already tried on clothes that didn't fit me, and you knew yourself. Like when you look at the photos, it's mental it is.
Yeah.
But I already knew kind of then that I was putting on weight. But when someone says it to you, I was like, okay, right, let's just let's get this shit sorted out.
Yeah,
ASAP, Rocky.
and let's bring it now, I suppose, to the present tense, man. Like, let's start with the physical. How you feeling physically now?
I feel strong, probably the strongest I've ever been. Like throughout my whole training life, so to say. Do you know what I mean? Of all the different stages, gone to the gym throughout the years, or even playing sport younger. I feel the strongest I've felt. It's the like. For anyone who doesn't know, last year obviously I done it like not really a transformation. It was more of a photo shoot.
Yeah.
And I was shredded. Now the only thing was that I had no real I didn't have much muscle on me. Do you know what I mean? I was more skin and bones, and obviously because I was skin and bones, the abs came out. So kind of physically, or like it looked aesthetically all right.
Yeah.
But I had no real strength there. I wasn't strong. Do you know what I mean? And
you were just looking to get shredded.
Yeah. Well, it was more just it was a skinny shred. Like it wasn't like I was really defined up around here, and I was broad, and I could carry myself
Different
properly.
story now, bro.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the best way to put it is like I'm confident in the gym. I enjoy training. Like I know we finished on Saturday, went out Saturday night. Sunday didn't do it. And back in the gym on Monday, enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? Trained twice this week so far. We'll train tomorrow again. So yeah, just enjoying it. And the one of the main things now coming out of this time is I'm kind of like, I'm not going to do a transformation again. I'm not going to do a photo shoot again.
You're not going back.
I'm not going to regress, because that's what I've done the last couple of times. Any other time I've trained, I've regressed. Whereas this time I'm like, right, let's just, okay, you went out Saturday night, so just train Monday, get back at it again.
You're back in it, man. Yeah,
do you know what I mean? I'm going to the Dove Smash on Sunday, I'll have a few points and go on holidays. When I come back off holidays, I'll just go back to the gym as normal. Do you know what I mean? Or I'll go play ball once a week, and I'll do these different things. Just to kind of counterbalance.
That's
the other
it.
things
Look, when you got to enjoy
the other things that I've restricted over the last while.
No, you got to enjoy life, man. Definitely. So I think it's really important. But at the same time, and I've said this year, I suppose throughout the whole journey that we've been together, I was like, if there's one thing that you take away from this, man, I want it to be like a lifestyle change. I want like you going to the gym, having your program, doing your pull-ups, whatever else it is, man, keeping physically fit. Whether that be doing the vault classes, I think the vault. It was the vault. Yeah, like which is like a bike row ski, isn't it?
Basically.
Bike row ski, yeah. Having things in place where like you're not going to slip up again, man. And you can't. I think you're saying it now as well.
The difference is this time is like I've been the fella who's got in shape and fell out of shape. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's not nice, because trust me, when you get that skinny and shredded and you put on the littlest bit of weight, you notice it. So imagine come January this year and you're looking at yourself and you're like, what's after happening here? Like, do you know what I mean?
It's like that, man. I heard a quote recently from Alex Hormozy, and it's like he says it best, man. It's like, it's not about getting in shape, it's about staying in shape. It's not about starting a business, it's about staying in business. It's not about getting married, it's staying married. It's not about getting healthy. It's about being healthy, man. It's the consistency, and I think why consistency is so difficult to so many of us, man. It never ends. Where is the end point with consistency? It just happens over and over again. It's every day you've got to show up and do what you've done yesterday and keep on improving and just keep on iterating and getting better. And the repetition of that weighs people down. But now you've got like small systems in place, such as, developing your pull-ups. We're going to get to that further down. That's a massive thing, man. That's one of the main things I like. I absolutely love doing. It's not great to say you love doing your pull-ups, man.
In January, I couldn't even do a negative. Like the thing was nearly coming out of the wall, and I was putting myself up onto it. Like,
it's great, man. I'm going to get that footage up as well, man. Like when back in the day when we were doing the Hercules class, man, you were in here.
Do a little edit on it where you have one of the clips coming up on this podcast.
Exactly, bro. Yeah, we'll be talking over it. But you're dead right, man. Like you were struggling with the negatives, and you're probably how were you thinking back then? Like, were you thinking you could ever achieve a pull-up?
Yeah and no. Like at the time, obviously you're kind of like, how the fuck am I going to do this? And you're like, give us another 4. And you're like, what? Are you mad, bro? Yeah. Like, but I'm also aware that, you know what I mean, with consistency and time and a bit of patience, anyone can achieve all of these things that we're talking about now. Do you know what I mean? Genuinely, if you just put your mind to it and just stick at it for a bit of time.
It's having that focus, man. That focus is so important. You mentioned a really important word there, man, is patience.
Yeah.
And the willingness to persevere as well, man. It's just, if you can have them two together, patience and perseverance, you will achieve something. And man, it goes to show, bro, like you're now, we'll break into already. I didn't want to mention the pull-ups too early, but now you can definitely you can do 10 neutral pull-ups. That's a massive achievement.
At the moment, I can do 10 body weight, and I was in the gym earlier on, and I can do weighted the neutral grip pull-ups with about 10 kilo. I was doing negatives with 15, so that's the kind of benchmark that I'm at now. The aim is to try and improve the 15 kilo instead of negatives, maybe get 4 or 5 or something.
Exactly.
For now, anyway.
And just build it up. Like start small. Like if you can do negatives with that weight, man, there won't be any issue at all with you doing 2.5 or 5 kilo.
Yeah, big time.
You know, chin-ups or pull-ups, man, they've been massive. And I think one thing that you did invest in, one thing I have to give you credit for as well, man, is like a massive thing, especially for a coach, when you're training someone, man, you need them to follow what you're saying. And credit to you, man, you adhered to what I asked of you. And one thing you did invest in, which I was delighted about, you did make a few investments now, but was the chin-up bar. The chin-up bar.
The chin-up bar was great, yeah.
And I know you've got a bit of PTSD after.
I almost broke a nose with it, but like, it was worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't been using it as much now in the gaff. I've been doing a lot of every time I go to the gym now, regardless of what muscle group I'm training or what split I'm doing, I'll just do a few chin-ups or a few pull-ups anyway. Because
you notice the difference. Like
I actually find it an enjoyable exercise to do now. Do you know that?
Man,
funnily enough,
I think they're like pull-ups are significant to just how you live in life. Because how I see them, right? Obviously, they're a great physical, achievement, and it's great to show you can lift your own body weight. It's very impressive. You're building massive, juicy lats, and everything else that goes with it. But it's like you can pull yourself up. You can pull yourself up of a situation that you find yourself in life, man. Whether it be down, you pull yourself up out of it. You know what I mean? So look, maybe I've
never thought of it that way, man, but I don't know. I'm going to take that from tomorrow.
Yeah, man, it might be a bit philosophical, but yeah, man. I just think, man, you've got that power.
How long are we in here?
We're 15 minutes gone, bro.
Next, I'm going to ask you, are aliens real?
Getting the Area 51 now later on. But yeah, man, I just think they're a significant exercise, and I love the way you bought into it as well, which is really, really important, man.
I find them extremely enjoyable now to do in the gym, and it's something that I took out that I'm trying to just develop now. Do you know what I mean? I needed to find those little things. That was one thing I said to myself. Like I think it was in like March when we're coming out of this, I need to find something to drag me into the next phase, so I don't literally just fall off the fucking face of the earth and end up in the boozer again.
No, exactly.
And end up just eating shit food and not training. I mean, I need to find these little things.
Because it's like a before.
So chin-ups is one. Yeah. I want to try something.
Dips, running.
Dips is another one that we developed them a bit, but they didn't come on as much as the chin-ups. But again, with a bit more time, I'd like to get back into running. Yeah. I play 5-a-side once a week. I mean, that's a nice little blend that I have at the minute. You know what I mean? Happy days.
It's deadly, man.
Suits me like.
Oh, it's fucking brilliant, man.
I might even go back to the GAN next year. Just tell Desi Farrell there I'm ready to rock with it.
Give me a shout for Sunday. Up the dubs. You might as well. What you predict how the final goes Sunday? Bit off topic.
I mean, obviously, I think the Dubs are going to do it by 2 or 3 points, but
really,
it's hard to know.
It is.
I think it's going to go right down to the wire.
It's going to be a great game.
Right up until maybe 5 minutes to go, and then that Dubs bench is a little bit stronger, so you might be able to just pull away a little bit. But then again, I could also see it going to extra time. I could see a replay.
Yeah, you never know.
It's the peak fixture. Do you know what I mean? At the start of the season, you're like, as a Dubs fan, you're like, All-Ireland final. I'd love Kerry in the All-Ireland final. So we made it. Roll on Sunday.
So the pull-ups was one thing, man. Like I said, performance-based. It was an exercise you've achieved, and you could say mastered, because you can definitely do 10 reps with your body weight now. Another thing that we did introduce, which normally happens in the morning, and I know you're a big fan of, because I got about 100 odd voice notes off you, and one thing I do try and implement with every client that I have, man, and I think it's really important, man, because I think the biggest issue that we have in this modern world, especially in the Western world, bro, we get up in the morning, but we don't wake up. Mm-hmm. How have you began to wake yourself up now? What is something?
Cold showers.
Cold showers, boy.
Now, I won't lie to you, right? I've seen a lot of people talk about cold showers and cold water therapy and all this stuff, and I used to see it on like TikTok or Instagram, like that's bollocks. Like, come on, will you, like getting into the water? Yeah. And then I just tried it. I was like, right. And next fall, it was like
you were an naysayer before.
Like I was an naysayer. They've converted me on a few things over the last couple of months. The cold showers is definitely one. Like,
he's joined the cult already.
When I say you get like such a zap out of that.
It's a zap, man.
It's a zap. It's like, when you see a switch on a wall and the light just immediately switches on. It's like someone just flicks the switch and you're like, right, we're on.
Game on, bro.
We are going.
Are you still doing them at the moment?
Not as religiously as I was now. I still will turn the shower cold, but I've for a while there.
At least you're still.
I'm still like at the end of the shower. I will switch it for a minute, 2 minutes. Just sometimes it depends. I vary on the coldness. Do you know what I mean? It's moving it up and down. But like about 2 or 3 months ago, when I first started really implementing, man, I was literally just straight in, turned the whole thing around. It was like an ice bath nearly.
Man, you feel like an animal, bro.
But yeah, it's now. Do you know what? And I only do it in the morning time. I like a hot shower at night before I get into bed.
Oh, never. No, that's one thing you said that well, man. Never cold showers at night.
Time, if you're looking for something to kick you into gear, I swear to God, a cold shower is. I'm converted. I thought it was complete bullshit, to be honest with you. But once you try it, and I think one of the main things is to stick with it, and to try and like go from 30 seconds to a minute to 2 minutes, and then
build up your tolerance.
Yeah,
man.
that's it. And do you know what the funny thing is? It's like when you're. I find it's like when you get a couple of tattoos, you build up a bit of a tolerance to the pain and the sensation. It's like that with the cold shower. Sorry, my phone is ringing. Someone is interrupting my spiel. You build up a tolerance, and it just you kind of push yourself more and more out then, for longer and longer and colder and colder.
And did you get your cold shower tattoo? Yeah.
No, not yet. I love cold showers.
I love cold written across the chest. You mentioned the word zap there, man. That's what you're doing, man. But I think a big thing, and it's like a massive win to get at the beginning of the day as well, isn't it? Like you're proving to yourself that you can do something difficult.
It's better than coffee, and I'm a coffee addict.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be hating on you now for that, bro.
Genuinely, like clip me. It's better than coffee, and I absolutely inhale coffee like there's no tomorrow.
Look, man, you can have the best of both worlds. Have your cold shower.
I have both. I have both now, so I'm winning anyway.
Yeah, you're winning, bro. You're dead right. You're winning, man. But look, have your cold shower. That's a win. Have your coffee. The coffee's the reward. Then the coffee's the reward. I would say to you, do try and get back into where you're doing them straight cold, because what it does for like your mindset, what it does, man, it proves to yourself I can do something fucking difficult, and it's always harder to get when it's cold, man. But then you get your head in, you get along your spine, the back of the neck, the job's done. The rest of the body doesn't really matter, because you just got all them nerves in around there, man. You hit them first, you're flying. But I think another thing it does, man, we've had to see it at one stage, it's that mental fortitude as well. It's like, you know, going into a very stressful state, everyone wants to cower away from it. That's why people shy away from doing the cold water therapy, man.
Take the easy route out.
Take the easy route, man. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. A hot shower is great as well. Like you're sitting.
I love you. You said it there, man. I would never recommend a cold shower in the evening, because you're trying to wind down, relax. Yeah. Cold water is stimulating.
That's kind of the approach I took. Like I'm looking for that zap first thing in the morning. I don't need that at 10 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night and I go to bed.
Not at all, man. Not at all. Is there any other habits you've taken away? We touched on a few things already. Is there anything that sticks out in your own mind or anything that comes to mind?
I think just getting back and staying training is probably the biggest habit. Like whatever about cold showers and this, that, and things, and the whatever form of training, just sticking to actually going training. This week was a big week. This week could have went haywire. Yeah. So I mean, I could have ended up not going near the gym at all, and taking my, because essentially I'm on holiday. As I was saying to you before the podcast, I'm on holiday mode, so I could have took this week and said, to the gym,
just left it,
whatever, like, do you know what I mean? But no, I'm as I said, I sent you, I think it was a voice now earlier on, like I'm actually hungry to keep training. Let's see where I can push it out in October time,
man. That's
in
the
November
thing,
time. Do you know what I mean?
Like I've said this to you, man.
The difference is now is I'm not like I'm not really restricting though. I'm eating and I can go out and enjoy myself on the weekend. And the main thing is you're just back at it on Monday. Do you know what I mean?
Physically, man, you look great. Like you possess a lot of muscle now as well.
That was we put a lot of focus on that at the very start. I think we done it in
stages. There was a phase of it.
We looked at it. We were like, right, let's just forget the pod job, forget the bit of timber there. Just forget about that. Let's just look at this part of your body and try and put on a bit of muscle and change the definition up there.
Exactly.
We can get to the later on stage and start trying to taper up here.
We kind of split it in half, man. Because going back to January just for 2 seconds. Remember, we had to get physically fit. I was like, I need you. That was a massive thing, man. Like,
sorry, actually, that's another habit that you've triggered in my head. Probably trying to stay physically fit will be another one, and not just aesthetically fit. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, or aesthetically in good nick. Like, trying to actually continue doing the vault. Play ball once a week, and as I said, I'd like to get into running again, maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. Just things like that to actually have some good cardiovascular fitness. Definitely,
because it makes you feel alive, doesn't it?
Because I like throughout the years training, even just going to the gym, I wouldn't be I wouldn't get on an assault bike or the Kaiser bike or whatever. Like, I mean, I wouldn't go near any of that stuff for years.
You became the Kaiser King.
I became the Kaiser King, by the way, just so you know. We thought we had a Kaiser King in town, but I came in and just.
New champ. That's who it is. You're dead right, bro. And then obviously, let's move on a small bit, because we talked about the cardio side of things, which probably bores a lot of people. How you look aesthetically now is probably the main thing. Is there anything that sticks out in your own head in how you look that you're proud of, or is there anything in particular?
Definitely my when I say my upper body, I mean from my chest up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
100%. Like
different ball game.
It's the broadest. It's the broadest I've ever looked. Yeah. Even like my arms. A lot of people full. I don't feel skinny like.
Yeah.
I don't,
does it feel natural? Does it feel natural?
Yeah, it does completely. 100% feels all natural. But like I felt skinny at times. You know what I mean? Scrawny.
Yeah.
My missus used to call me Schmill from the voice.
Oh, there you go. Pajamas. What's she calling you now, I wonder?
Adonis.
Adonis, yes, bro. The soy boy into Adonis.
Yeah, no, the upper body is one. Like, I'm happy enough where the lower belly is. I don't want abs. I'm happy out with the way it is at the minute. Yeah. I just want to keep kind of the way I am right now. If I
just
stay
build
like this,
it out more.
Yeah, pretty much, and just see where I can take it. But at the end of the day, I'm quite happy with the frame that I have at the minute.
What a great thing to say, bro.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Absolutely.
Like,
and the good thing is like I'm now in a position where I can enjoy life. I just need to kind of keep training and just keep on top of it. You know what I mean? Which is great.
Exactly. Tell me, we did mention it before many times, but you try to grow your lats, throughout the years.
Yeah.
And we did touch on it already, but that exercise
it's the chin ups. Definitely, like, and trust me, I've done lat pull downs for years, and like even with the machine or with plates or whatever, and it's completely different ball game when you're doing chin ups
because you've such structure, man.
Out. Do you know what I mean? And you have no choice because you're hanging onto the bar and you're like swinging. Do you know what I mean? So you have to stabilize yourself anyway.
Yeah,
instead of just sitting and pulling down. Do you know
and
what
you're really
the one range of motion.
And you're really engaging your lats on that, and your forearms, man, and even the back of your delts, your rhomboids, in between your shoulder blades, man.
And at the end of the day, it's more enjoyable to do than a lat pull down.
Isn't it? Yeah, even the exit, man. There's so many pros to doing pull-ups.
Yeah,
I think they're like the ultimate. I would almost have them over the dips, man, for an upper body exercise. I just think it can't go wrong. Because it hits so much, man. And look, you've built up this. We'll get a photo up on the screen for anyone that hasn't seen the before and after, man. But you got that V taper now, where your lats are wide. You got a narrow waist. Your shoulders, man. We haven't touched on the shoulders yet. You got big, burly looking shoulders, man. Sign of strength. Women desire that, man. Do you ever hear of there's a thing called the golden ratio, right?
No.
And it's your shoulders are 1.6 times the breadth of your waist, and you have that now, man. You got that narrow waist. Another thing we can touch on is the love handle as well. You got that narrow waist and broad shoulders.
One of the main things that actually happened was definitely the love handles gone. Because remember we were looking 2 months ago and we were like, lats and shoulders, man, they're there, but it's the love handles that are just making the frame not have that look, the Hollywood look or something they call it.
That's what it is, man. Yeah, it is. It's like that movie star body, man. The movie star body look.
It's the best nick I've been in, genuinely, in a long time.
On that note,
ever.
Bro, on that note, we're about 25. We're about halfway in, bro.
Oh,
do you fancy a whiskey?
Oh yeah.
Oh, we'll pause it for 2 weeks.
Now it's a podcast. Are aliens real?
We'll be back in a moment. Next subject we're going to touch on, man, because I thought it was really important, was you coming back from life, and you were at a festival, obviously 7 weeks out, and one thing that we had to hone down on was just cutting drink out completely. What did that do for you? Did it do anything in particular, or was there anything that stands out now in your own mind? Because you're back. Yeah, we're back rolling. Yeah. Anything that stands out to you, cutting out the drink for that period of time?
Well, I had just the first initial week, I had just come back from life, so wasn't actually that hard at all. I didn't. The last thing I wanted to look at was a gargle, but to be honest, I think because we were I was just coming back from life, and we had 6 or 7 weeks or whatever it was, I didn't actually mind cutting out the drink at all, because I was we have a mountain, we had a mountain to climb back then. That was. I was heavy coming back from life.
Because
I done session TV right at Forbidden Fruit, and that was the week after life. If you go on and look at that clip, you can see the belly was still there, huge. I looked massive in that. And that was 5-6 weeks ago.
Crazy.
So we had a mountain. So to be honest with you, cutting out the gargle wasn't really an issue at all, do you know?
And did you ever have a craving to have a drink during that time?
Yeah. I went to the All-Ireland quarterfinal. That was tough now. And to be honest...
Because you're surrounded by people drinking.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I usually go for a gargle with my family, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was kind of I'm not going to go. And then the semi-final wasn't too bad because I was DJing that night. So I just stayed sober anyway. But yeah, it was a couple of little cravings here and there. I was craving after about 4 weeks. I wasn't even craving going out and having a few pints. I was craving going to another festival or something like that. You know what I mean? And just going for a dance.
Yeah.
But I was kind of, because we left ourselves with a short little window.
Because you had 7 weeks.
Yeah, and it was a lot of weight to lose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was fairly headstrong just to stay off it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And were you tempted at any stage?
Did I go on the gargle? I don't think I went on the gargle. I'm trying to think.
I think you had one sneaky one that you said to me.
Oh, yeah,
half a can or something you threw away.
Oh, sorry, yes. So my mate, I wouldn't really. I was 3/4 of a can of cider but like I was like my calories were already restricted anyway for that whole week, so I don't think I would have really affected the whole progress. But actually going on a night out, didn't go on a night out. That was 3 or 4 weeks ago. My mate is having a kid, so he's having like a baby barbecue thingy party kind of thing. Had like 3/4 of a can, wasn't too bad. It was only there for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Like,
has your perception of drinking changed all that much? Like I think like we touched on it.
It always does though when you come off the gargle for a while. You realise what sobriety in inverted
that's what it is, man.
Like
you had a mini break from drinking, which I think proved to you, like having that focus work and having a real end goal and that date, man. You can achieve a lot in that time. I think for the majority of us, and this is me included as well, man, if you can cut out the drink, you can achieve so much, man.
You only realise it when you come off it though, and you
that's
see
the thing,
side of it,
because you're caught in this cycle of socialising. Everything consists around drinking, man. You need a break free.
It's dopamine hits though. You get the dopamine hits when you're out and having a good time. Everyone, you're like, you know what I mean. Everyone's on the buzz and you're having a laugh and you feel great on the gargle at the time or whatever. The next day,
but the next week, man.
The next 2 or 3 days, yeah.
Do you think going forward you'd be a bit more wiser about your approach to drinking as you're?
I think
taking a sip of whiskey?
As I'm having a whiskey and a cigar, I absolutely do not drink.
Well,
but I think one of the main I will definitely be wiser, but one of the main things I will do is just go back to the gym on the Monday.
Yeah.
And just get it all out of the system.
And just keep
iron
going.
the creases out on Monday. By Tuesday, you're flying again.
Do you feel like...
Because that was something when I got in shape last year, that was something that I didn't do.
Yeah.
Like I finished last year, I went to Ibiza, I went to a festival in Portugal, I was in the pub, but I never went back to the gym. So I never got that opportunity to get that endorphin or that the buzz you get when you start to break a sweat and the blood starts circulating.
Yeah.
I never once got that last summer.
Is that something you're going to take away from our transformation together? Is that you have that now?
Yeah, absolutely.
That post-gym feeling.
Yeah.
It's addictive, man, isn't it?
It's like a drug. Yeah,
it is a drug.
You get addicted to it big time.
100%.
That is something that I will definitely take forward, yeah.
Brilliant, bro. That's the main thing. So, and do you think, like, just for yourself going forward, now, you'll be obviously joining me in the online program, which I'm very excited about as well.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Stay very tuned. Like, do you think you'll have a little mini break maybe every so often? Would it be 4 weeks or, maybe an extended period of time where you'll just lay off the drink?
So, yeah.
Because you have a career outside of this. Like you're DJing and everything else. Like, imagine you stayed sober and focused on that, man. That could multiply and explode and grow as well.
I think what I'm going to try and do is, like, I go away next week's the first week in August. I'm going on holidays. I'm obviously not going to restrict myself then. I'll come back and, like, I might go out on a Friday, just 2 or 3 pints and a bit of food. That's all I'm really going to do, I think, in August.
Yeah.
September is my birthday, and I'm going to go over to Portugal.
When in September?
16th. 16th September. So I'm going to try and not restrict myself in August, but I won't be going mad. Do you know what I mean? I'll just be kind of training and maybe going out for food on the weekend, going on dates with my missus, because I have kind of restricted that for a long time. You know? I'll be doing sort of that kind of stuff. I don't really have anything planned. I'm going to ADE in October, which is like, for anyone who doesn't know, it's like Amsterdam dance event. It's like a music conference / festival. There's loads of shit on. Yeah. Every DJ in the world is there for that 4 or 5 day period. But it's like there's seminars during the day and there's raves at night, basically. So that's my next kind of mad one as such. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
But it's like, man, it's having something to look forward to. And in the meantime, it's not... You
need that though, because otherwise you just start dilly-dallying and you're like, sure.
You fall back into old habits.
I'll go out here, I'll do that, I'll do that. Whereas if you're like, right, well, I'm going away, or I'm going to this festival, or I'm going to this gig, I'm going to see whatever, Coldplay, whoever it is you want to go see.
You're going to see Coldplay? And
I joined the queue. Listen, I'm a casual Coldplay fan, so I was going to buy my missus a ticket, but I joined the queue, and I was like 160,000 in front of me. I just X'd out straight away. Jesus, man. That's serious, man. So I'm not, like, the general admission is next Friday. I'm not going to bother, I don't think.
But going back to the drinking, though, so do you feel like you have some sort of different outlook to drinking now?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Big time,
that's the biggest takeaway.
Just known, just to keep it controlled, you know what I mean? Keep it controlled, especially like whatever about the mental aspect, but like physically, I'm not one of these lucky people that, like, I know a couple of people that will drink till the cows come out, just drink to beat the band, and will never get a belly from it ever. I'm not, unfortunately, one of those people. I will put on weight when I drink, so
you have to be aware of it.
Yeah, so you have to be aware of it. And that's definitely one of the things we'll take into, just to kind of keep it in, not in moderation. Like, I'm not going to go out and restrict myself now for the rest of the year, but just to be aware that, like, it doesn't have to be a Tuesday point. You just go to the gym on a Tuesday, you know what I mean, and enjoy yourself on a Friday or a Saturday, or even a Sunday afternoon. Come home, where you can save your Monday and just even go for a walk on the Monday, and then all of a sudden when Tuesday rolls around, you're back in the gym and you've essentially, it's like having a crease in a shirt. You've earned it out then. You're back. You're set up for the week. Although you're a day late, you're still set up for the week.
The way I see it as well, man, and I think you've definitely built this up over the course, is build a momentum. I think it's really important, man, because like it's every session that you come to, it's this build up. And I think when you had Life Festival come around, man, I said go for it, bro. Enjoy yourself. We weren't restrictive.
It knocked us back though, I think.
But and this is about building momentum, man. That momentum. It took it back. It went on the back burner, and it took us 2 weeks to come back around, man. And there was
That's one of the main reasons why I had no problem knocking the drink on the head for that period of time, because
there was
I had went to Life and I was like, I said it to you a few times, like, how the fuck are we going to turn this around? Like, this is tough, because like a lot of people see the before and after photos, don't realize that I had a belly 6 weeks ago. Do you know what I mean? I only lost it in the last 6 weeks. We really honed in on the beley. Yeah, we were building muscle apart from that for the majority of the time. Do you know what I mean? And really trying to change the upper half.
Let's just move the conversation that way, because I'm liking what you're saying, bro. Because you know you can do the cardio till the cows come home as well, Dan. But fuck me, man. It all happens in the kitchen, bro. Losing that, man, because that's where you lost the love handles, bro.
It is. Lost abs are cooked in the kitchen is one of the truest things definitely I've heard when it comes to getting in shape, because you can train as much as you want, you can do as much cardio, running, jogging, sit-ups, knee-ups, whatever, chin-ups, whatever. As long as you're eating incorrectly, you're not going to get to that
and
level.
How did you achieve then losing the love handles and reducing?
It was diet. It was diet. We were like,
what did you get down to?
We didn't change that much in the training really for the last 6 weeks. We just kept the intensity high. All I did was really hone in on the diet. Yeah.
And how did you find that? How were the last 6 weeks for you?
The first of the 6 weeks, the first 3 weren't too bad. The last 3, because the first 3 went so well, I'd already started to lose the weight, so I kind of used that bit of momentum and motivation just to keep me going, because I'd started to see the difference, and I was like, right, let's just keep the foot on the gas now. It's starting to change now, but the last 2 weeks were tough, because I'd really dropped the calories low, and I'd honed in on the macros to really like bringing the carbs back a little bit and trying to increase the fat and keeping the protein really high, like tailoring the foods that I was eating to suit the macros and the calories to try and keep the calorie count in check, while also
training
religiously training.
Because you're doing 2 sessions.
Stopping, we were literally doing a cardio session and then a resistance session or something in here. So really, it got in the 6 week block. Yeah. The first 3 weeks were all right. Yeah. And then I had started to see the body change. So then the 4th week was like, right, we're moving. And it comes in peaks and troughs. You know what I mean? You kind of get these moments where you're like,
is that what kept you?
Let's get this.
Is that what kept you motivated? Is seeing that difference in your body?
But in saying all of that, the last 2 weeks were a slog. And it's not that I didn't want to train. It's just when you're not putting the right nutrients into the body's not responding to it.
Yeah, exactly.
The body can't. It's like putting air into a car and expecting the car to drive. Like
great point.
You need to have the fuel in the car for the car to drive, and if you're not supplementing that properly, you're just going to be a bit lethargic.
Look, coming to the end of it now, how do you feel? Like, was it worth it? Coming to the end of them 2 weeks?
Absolutely. Because this is another thing I said to you last week, was like when I was really coming up to a couple of days when the photo was restricting it, keeping the cardio high, and just keeping, not even, like I hate saying keeping cardio high as if I was just like running everywhere, even just walking, because I work an office job, so I'm sitting all the time, so I had to actually allocate time to get my steps in. But getting the steps in, all of that last week was tough, because you're restricting yourself, whereas now this week I'm just eating normal. I'm going to the gym, I'm lifting heavier weights because it's back. But it had to be done, and I think it's not like I always say to when my mates ask me, like, give yourself time. I think one of the main reasons why we done that is because, you know, I came out of Life Festival 6 weeks ago. I had a belly, like a big belly. I'd literally just done 3 days at festival, partying for 3 days. You know what I mean? We had to really restrict it.
We had to go for it.
We had to like hone in to the fine details with the macros, the calories, the types of food, the eating period, all of this sort of stuff we done, and it worked in the end.
Yeah. How did you find that side of things, the eating period?
Not too bad, because I before that I'm not really a massive, unless I'm hanging, I don't really eat breakfast at all.
You're not eating around the clock?
No. I like, if I'm in the office, I'll eat my first meal at 1 o'clock in the day when I come home from lunch, and if I'm working at home, I'll try and have something small, because I'll usually train on my lunch break, which is 1:45 to 2. Deadly. So I'll try and eat at 11, half 11, and that'll be the first meal. So it starts a bit earlier when I'm working at home. Yeah. And then when I'm in the office, it starts maybe an hour or 2 later, and then I'll stop eating usually if I'm not DJing, because when I'm DJing then I'm out till 2:30, 3 in the morning, so I try and space the meal out to have it a bit later, so you're not like getting hungry at like 12, 1, because I've fallen into that trap a few times where you're trying to condense the window that you're eating, And
difficult to do.
It's difficult because you're not like when you're working a normal job and you're going to bed and you're getting up, it's grand, you're in bed at 9-10 o'clock. When you're out DJing, you're out late, next of all it's like 12:30 and you're like, oh bollocks, I have another 2 hours and you're hungry, starving, because you're standing there and you're doing it. It's like a step aerobics class. But it's how's that side
of things going for you now? Like, do you have a different outlook on your work and your pastimes in terms of DJing, and that could hopefully be a career for you at some stage? How are you viewing that now compared to before?
Well, I think I'll start with so I've obviously I DJ, and then I have like a 9 to 5. I work an office job. I think my office job has benefited most from me getting in shape, and we haven't touched on it yet, but the Kino and
we're
getting there, but has definitely benefited. Like I won a silver award, or I got a silver award at my job, which is in other words for a bonus. Like, do you know what I mean?
Happy
just
days.
For performance levels, but
and
a lot of that was down to just being in shape. Nutrition was right, training was good. The Kino, I mean, I know we'll get to it. I'm trying to tiptoe.
You're tiptoe, you were getting there.
But a lot of it was down to just the diet and just being in shape and training regularly and not eating shit food, because I was sleeping well, I was getting up. This was like, I don't know when this was. This was before like, this was when we were just the wheel, like,
you were flying,
we weren't restricting the calories, we were just fucking going at it,
and you were enjoying it as well.
No, and there was momentum there, you could feel it. I went to the office, and even having day-to-day conversations with people, do you know what I mean? You're engaged in the conversation, you're tuned into what they're saying. Do you ever get sometimes when you're talking to someone and they say something and you're just kind of like, and it kind of goes in one ear and out the other, and the mind is somewhere else, and you're trying to then focus back in on what they said, and you're at the back half of their sentence. You're like, what the fuck did they even say there? Man, but when I was like in the peak of it all, when I was training and eating clean, all of that, like, there was none of that. I was getting problems in work, and I was just solving them in seconds. You know what I mean?
Isn't that crazy?
I was actually taking on extra work in the job. Was going around helping people. I was just a bubbly person to be around.
On an energetic level, man, when you invest in yourself, when you commit to a regime, a schedule, a plan, like we did, like you got yourself physically fit with all the cardio we do at the beginning, then you get yourself muscular, looking well, aesthetically, and you're doing cold showers, you're applying all this, man. Look at the person that you've become, man. Mm-hmm. You're a fucking better man to be around. You're doing things for people now as well. I think it's one of the most important things, man, and Jordan Peterson always talks about it, man. It's like, develop yourself, invest time in yourself, become a better person, and then once you do that, bro, you become a better person to be around. Look at you in work, bro. You're up for that, man. You're up for an award in work, bro. You're solving problems on the spot. One of the most important things, man. Your awareness is obviously heightened because you're engaging with people. You're communicating better. You're a better person to be around. One of the things, your missus probably sees the biggest difference.
One of the things, definitely, like, when it comes to that, and just your cognitive function and keeping, like, just problem solving and different things that you use your mind for, was the Kino. I know I'm probably jumping ahead, but
we mentioned. I'll just give a little introduction. So if anyone
spark my cigar, you
go for it. For anyone that doesn't know, Kino Mojo, right? I've been taking this for the best part of 2-3 months now, and it's a testosterone supplement. There's people out there, man, that don't believe in testosterone supplements. So we're going to prove them wrong right now, Dan. Because I take that personally. I take that fucking personally. I don't like when people, put something down. If you haven't tried it, man, you don't know anything about it. And it's a very subjective experience because you've taken it and you know the effects of it, man. And I think I was like, you listen to me in a lot of things. You listen to me with the cold showers. You listen to me with the pull-ups. You listen to me with getting physically fit. Mm-hmm. I was like, Dan, listen, bro, I've been taking this Kino Mojo. Shout out to Mr. Greg O'Gallagher. He's like a fitness guru. Runs it, man, an incredible company called Kino Body. It's all based around like just building a movie star body, right? And he brought out this testosterone supplement, and I was very skeptical at the beginning, like many people are, man, when they see something new on the market.
Oh, like me, man.
but how he backed it up, man, he was getting people to do blood work and look at their blood results, and people were like tripling, doubling, quadrupling. It's like doubling, tripling, quadrupling. That's the whiskey. That's the whiskey kicking in. Their testosterone levels, man. Their free testosterone and their testosterone in their body, man. I was like, Jesus Christ, I need to get myself some of this, right? And it's very simple, man. It consists of 5 ingredients: boron, magnesium, zinc, tunga ali, and forskolite, right? The last two are herbs, right? Start taking it, man. My motivation changed. I feel different, man. My sex drive is up. I'm like hornier more of the time, which is a very, that's a very healthy sign that your body is working properly, man. And I don't think a lot of people address this, man, but your sex drive is really important. And when you improve that, you've more of a vigor for life, man. You want to go out and conquer things as well. Especially as a man, testosterone is really important because it's the primary sex hormone in your body. And when that's in tune, bro, like you've experienced, bro, you're on top of the fucking world, and you're also on top of your own world as well. But take me to whatever story you want to take me to now.
The initial.
I'll
take you to the initial idea of the Kino. Right?
How was Kino Mojo for you?
Right, let me start from the start.
For
the record, right?
Kino, we're on.
We're on. Have we got any more whiskey, actually?
We'll get more whiskey.
Right, for the record, I am very skeptical when it comes to all of that sort of stuff. Because you go onto Instagram and TikTok and you see all these influencers, right? And everyone's trying to flog shit to you. Everyone's like, use my discount code. Thank you, sir. Use my code, blah, 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 and this will do X, Y, and Z, right? So, we need a
bit of Coke, bro.
We need a bit of Coke.
No, Coca-Cola. And it's Coke Zero for anyone's asking as well.
I'm not hardcore. I don't do risky on the rocks yet, unfortunately. I haven't got there yet.
Where did I leave it?
Well,
hold that thought for a second.
I'll hold it. I'll park it.
Park that thought. Oh, it's here. I had a help.
We're flying now.
I'm fucking
We're gonna wait till see hour 2, people.
Yeah, man, this is what it's about, bro. We've done months of hard work, bro. We didn't touch the gargle.
I know.
Tonight's tonight.
Tonight's tonight. I'm not leaving the shed.
More, you know? You alright?
I'm not leaving the shed at all.
You'll never leave here, bro.
No.
You're part of the program now, bro.
I know. I'm enrolled. But so
yeah, let's touch on the Kino. Let's go.
You see people, right? They flog shit all the time trying to sell X, Y, and Z, and it probably does benefit in some way. But I'm very skeptical about it all. So you suggested it to me, right? And I was like,
the Kino Mojo.
Come on, bro. Are you serious? Like, I think I have enough testosterone. I already have a thick beard and all of hair growth like there's no tomorrow. Like
you're building muscle as well.
Yeah, but I was like, do you know what? To be fair to you, you were like, I wouldn't recommend it if I haven't tried it and I haven't felt the effects myself. I would never just flog something on you. No. Genuinely, and this is for the record, you genuinely did say to me, I'll buy this for you, right? If you don't feel anything, don't give me the money for it. And if you do, you can pay me for it. And within about 2 weeks of taking it, I was like, Kino's alright, isn't it?
The Kino fucking Mojo, bro. Man, it made a difference though.
So what did I feel, right? The first couple of days.
You're asking yourself these questions now.
The first week, right? I swear to God, lads, this stuff I thought was bollocks. But
how good does it feel when you invest in your testosterone levels?
Yeah, well, it's something I'd never considered before, to be honest.
Go on anyway.
Within the first 2 weeks, I kind of just, it was like that get up and go, the drive. Like another one of the reasons why when I was in the job, I was kind of like, I was engaging in these conversations. No problem talking to people, problem solving. Like cognitively, if that's a word, is that a word?
Oh yeah, you're right.
I think it is.
Anyway. How many whiskeys you had?
No,
cognitively. No, you did right though, bro.
But you know what I mean? Like thinking about things, problem solving, like even having conversations, everything was just rolling off the tip of the tongue, was flying. And I said it to you, I was like, man, I feel alright. And then it just, the drive was always there. And then the muscle obviously kind of came at a later stage with the training and stuff like that. I think I have generally a high sex drive anyway. Maybe. Yeah.
Horny bastard.
Maybe it's got increased. I don't know. We'll have to ask me, Mrs. Get
the bar on that one. We'll phone a friend here. Hello.
But do you know what the funny thing is I did say this to you, right? So we only got a month supplement or a month supply of it. And I was like, I can't wait to see when I'm off it. So right now I'm actually off it. Yeah. Because the last day I had was the day of the photo shoot. Yeah. I just haven't got it because I'm going on holidays and I'll get it when I come back. But I can't actually wait to get back on it. It's not that obviously I'm in shape now, so I feel great anyway, but it's just, it gives you that little boost in the morning.
It does, man.
Do you know what I mean? You take it at, I take it first thing in the morning, man, by 9 or 10 down in the office or
you're flying.
I'm bouncing around the place. Do you know what I mean? I'm flying.
Man, I noticed the difference in myself, bro. I think you always have to be true to yourself, man. I would never push something on you that I don't believe in. Mm-hmm. So I value, and this, when this came along, man, I started taking a go. Subjectively, I feel a difference. Now, if I got my bloods done,
I would love to see my testosterone level before and.
Well, this is the thing, man. You could possibly do it at some stage. Possibly get a bit of blood work done and see where your testosterone.
Please,
see where your blood work's at, because it'd be quite interesting if you've done a few months. So you've done 1 month of Kino Mojo. Imagine you've done 3.
Yeah.
Imagine you got 3 months supply, because I think there's 30 capsules that last you 1 month. You take 3 a day. But man, there's 90 capsules. 90 capsules. You take 3 a day. That wouldn't make any sense.
That's the whiskey.
3 by then is the whiskey. But,
are aliens real?
All right, that's the question. That's what we get to next. But man, it's made a significant difference to me, and I think it definitely has to you, man.
I've
Do you remember when we introduced that? Do you remember roughly when it was?
I think it was after Life at some. Yeah, sure. I'm only off it like since Saturday gone or Friday gone.
Oh, I said 5 weeks out.
Remember you just said it. You were like, I promise you, this will give you a kick. This will make you feel good.
And you need it at the right time.
And you know what? It actually was perfectly timed by yourself, because I was already kind of like flat out on my feet then, do you know what I mean? Training, trying to keep keep the sessions high and keep the volume of sessions high. So it literally got me over the line. Even when the food was kind of restricted, do you know what I mean? And everything else was restricted, and you're kind of like looking left to right going, oh, we nearly there, we nearly there. And you're waiting for the weight to go. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you're constantly in your own head like, oh, we're going to get there, James. I'm not going to get there. And then one day you're like, fucking right, I'm going to get there.
How does that feel, man? Like, even from a masculine point of view, like, embracing your masculinity almost, like having that high level of testosterone, high sex drive, you know, muscle mass, and obviously you got the growth of the beard and everything else, but how does that feel? Because I think, you know, we live in a world nowadays, man, where there's that term going around, toxic masculinity, and the only thing I see as being toxic, man, is that there's not enough masculinity in the world. Like, we need more of it. How does it feel to be really embracing that? Like, because I feel like you have grown into that from the Kino Mojo, from the training we done, the shape that you're in now, your outlook on life, your energy, your mindset, your motivation. Like, how does that feel really just becoming like, because you're almost becoming like a leader in work, you know, you're going around helping people with problems. This is what leaders do, man. They stand up when times are difficult, whether it be solving a Mickey Mouse problem, but even like, man, communicating with people, you're there now. You're not like letting things pass you by because your fucking energy is off. You're really present with someone.
No, it makes a difference. Yeah, as a person, it makes a difference. Yeah.
How does that feel, like becoming more masculine? Because have you felt that about yourself? Like, because in the post that I've done, man, about you, I called you a soy boy at the beginning because
did you?
Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, the term soy boy means like, yeah. So I said soy boy to Adonis, because that's what you became. But like, a soy boy is someone that has very feminine ways, is weak, is fragile, is a pushover, is just, you know, that they don't have that grit about them. But Adonis, man, Adonis stands on his own 2 feet. He embraces whatever challenges comes his way. He overcomes them as well. How, from that side of things, your masculinity side of things, have you noticed a difference there?
Do you know what?
You definitely became more masculine.
Yeah, absolutely. But the main thing I took away from the testosterone supplement was the motivation and the drive. Like, I've had different stages in my life where I have been really driven. Yeah. But this was not like a peak and a trough. This was a consistent every single day. Do you know what I mean? You jump up out of scratcher and you're like, right, we're going to earn the bread. Let's go.
Earn the fucking bread.
Let's go. Like, do you know what I mean? Let's
just that drive. So that's maybe
it's
that's a big part of being masculine.
I didn't always have the drive. Do you know what I mean? I had it in peaks and troughs. But the one thing is, when I was supplementing the testosterone, is it was always there. It was every day I was getting up. I was ready to get at it. Do you know what I mean? And just even go to work and train, and it was just everything. And like, one of the main things was, like, I'd be a fucker sometimes, right, when I'm talking to someone, and they'd be saying something to you, and you just think of something, and you'd zone in and out. Like, my missus she wants to kill me sometimes. She'd be saying something to me, and she'd tell me something. She'd tell it to me 10 times in the day. Yeah. I'd be like, what? Did you, what? Do you know what I mean? But when I was on the Kino, I was having a conversation. I was invested in that conversation. Do you know what I mean? I was in with that conversation. I remember that conversation. Do you know what I mean?
That's beautiful, man.
Do you know what I mean?
Man, that's what it's all
about.
And
I was a fucker for that now.
Do you know what one of the best things that you can give people in life, man? One of the greatest gifts that you can give people when you're with them is the gift of presence. Like, being present with someone. And I think when I don't know, man, I do believe, look, I think you became more aware, which is something that I really try and hone in on, is like, develop your self-awareness through exercise. Does that, because you're in the moment, you're aware that your heart is beating very fast, you're aware that your body temperature is up, that you're sweating. The cold showers is a brilliant one, man. That heightens awareness as well, because you're like, fuck, I feel so alive. The Kino Mojo, your testosterone is up, you feel more manly. And I think even that side of things, man, you become more protective of people as well. I think that's why you engaged in conversation better with your missus, with people in work, and outside of work, I'd say as well, man. I just think, talking about doing the 360, man, I think you've came full circle from where you were back in January. And like I said to you many times, man.
It's only when you sent me, before you posted the before and after photos, because remember, I hadn't seen any of this. I had just been using my own visual memory of what I look like. Only when you sent the before and after photos, I was like, man, I'm a completely different geezer now. I look completely different. I feel completely different. Do you know, it's mental, because, like, for the whole course of this time that we've been training, I I lost a phone and moved to a new phone, so I didn't even have any of the old, like the photos,
footage.
the progress photos, none of that on the lead up to this. So I had to try and remember what I looked like. It was only when you put it up I sat back and I was like, fuck me, that is different.
But that's what it's about, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, man. You've come full circle. I think it's just, I love doing this shit, bro. I've done it before and I want to keep on doing it now. And like, I just think it's great seeing someone go through the cycle of it and be the better man for it as well, because you're a better man in every sense now. You're a better person for society as well, bro. Think about that, man. You're a better person for your mad home. You're a better person for your girlfriend. You're a better man in work. You're just a better person now. It's a beautiful thing to witness, bro. But it just goes to show for anyone out there.
But if you're out there,
they can change. You can change your situation.
Everyone looks at like transformations and stuff like that, and it's always about the before and after photos.
Yeah.
The good thing is about the before and after photos, the side little benefit to that only you yourself will see is, because you're after getting in shape and spending this time getting in shape, the mental aspect comes with it. You can't,
the feeling of it.
Take a photo of it and show someone.
You
can only experience it. You know what I mean?
This is what it's about, bro. It's the feeling of it. You can't put it into text. Well, maybe you can put it into text of how you feel, but no one can feel how you feel. No one can feel. Only you can feel it.
You can only describe it in so many ways. You can only use so many adjectives and stuff
Imagine
like
you, right? Imagine you as a battery of energy right now, and you're giving off frequencies to other people, man. You're on a higher state of frequency now because of where you are now. Because you're looking after yourself physically, man. Think about all the things you're doing for yourself. You know, looking after your health. I keep mentioning it, bro, but cold water, exercise, you know, having a better outlook on life, building your testosterone. These are important things, man. As a man.
Well, no, to be honest with you, I never really looked
like what path would you...
I never really looked at, like, throughout the years in training, because as I was saying before, I have trained at various different stages and levels and stuff like that and whatever. Yeah. I never looked at testosterone or anything like that ever. I just, you know what I mean, I used to do a bit of creatine here and there, and I'd take a bit of protein if I was low.
Now you know about it.
Now I know, do you know what I mean? It's something that I've completely neglected, and I can only talk from experience, do you know what I mean? I can only say my experience on it, and if you're out there and you're looking to get like that drive and energy and just the little kick that you get, the little 2-step or whatever, something just to get you moving in the day, definitely supplementing testosterone.
Because it works. Because man, I've heard people, and bro, I've only listened to the podcast today, someone was knocking it, but you can't knock it until you've tried it, man. It's just so true, man.
To be fair, I can understand why people do that, because I was one of those people. Like, it was like when you said it to me originally, I was like, man, come on, like, and you were persistent on it, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna fucking die. Like, what's the fucking? May as well try it. And then after 2 weeks, I was like, right.
But there was no risk with it. There was no risk with it, because I was like, listen, bro, if you don't like it, I'll pay for it.
I would never like, you know, use synthesized testosterone and like that. But I think it's a natural.
It's a natural supplement.
You know what I mean? It's all. If you look at there's only like 5 ingredients.
You're dead right, bro.
I knew zinc. I'd been taking zinc before. My mum is an advocate, and she works in a pharmacy. She's an advocate of taking
zinc.
Yeah,
great for your immune system as well. Yeah, but it also helps with sperm production as well. That's the big thing for men taking it. Boron's another one.
I never heard of alkali or whatever the other one is called. I never heard of any of that.
Forskalai is a herb.
Right.
And then you got Tunga Ali, which is it's a big one in the testosterone world. But I just think, bro, imagine you on the path, right? Imagine we hadn't crossed paths and you're there in January, bro. Where are you going?
I know what would have happened, right? I would have probably just done a little bit of training, and then, as I said to you, when Jack said to me in Primworks that time, mate, you're after putting on a bit of timber, probably would have said to myself, right, need to try and do this. But I never would have stuck to it to the degree that I stuck with it with you, because what would have happened? I would have went back to the same training patterns, the same workouts, the same routines. Never would have looked at a chin-up bar. I would have walked by the fucking thing.
Yeah.
I mean, never would have done any of that. And probably maybe lost a little bit of weight, but never got to where I am. Never would have built.
But now you're the trajectory that you're on now, man.
Well, this is.
Bro, I'd love to see, man. The one thing I'm gonna hold you to, bro. You better be in fucking shape in a year's time. You will be.
We'll commit to a 6-month podcast, right? We'll come back in 6 months and see where I take it from here.
See, run the show here.
Fucking.
This is the James Hempton show here.
I'm taking over.
You're dead right, bro. Let's do it again in 6 months and see where you're at, man. Because it'd be very interesting to see. Like, this is a commitment. Yeah. And like I said, man, I've said this over and over again, bro. It's a lifestyle.
Big time, yeah.
Building into your lifestyle. It's not... Because this is why habits are so important, bro. Even the habit of pull-ups, the habit of doing cold showers.
Did you ever read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear?
I've read it, bro.
Savage, isn't it?
It's a great book.
It's savage. It takes an X amount of time to actually make it a habit, like, you know what I mean? Otherwise, it's just an action that you do.
But now think about the repetition of doing over and over and over again, bro. It's ingrained in you. Pull-ups are now part of who you are. It's Danny Pull-Up Farrell. That's the way I see it now, you know what I mean? Danny does cold showers, Farrell. You know what I mean? That's how it is, bro. That's how it is. A big inspiration and motivation outside looking in is definitely for you, but it has been for me since you mentioned him, is your dad, bro, because he's big into calisthenics as well.
Yeah, and you know
for a 50-odd man, he's a great fucking
what's
Nick.
Hilarious, right? Because like as I've been saying throughout the podcast, I do train like in the gym, and I lift. You know, you do your conventional gym exercises, your usual stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas he's all body weight in the gym, just in like in the monkey bars and stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, fucking well, man. Now all of a sudden I'm addicted to pull-ups and chin-ups.
And get into
he's
push-ups.
like, oh, like you're finally in the game now.
There's something different.
Just for context, right? My dad done this the other day where he done like 700 push-ups in an hour and 15 minutes or something like that. 50 odd years of age. He's 50 in August.
You know, how many push-ups were you getting in an hour, bro? Not 700.
715, I think he said the total number was. 715.
You know, who's next on my hit list again?
But we have to get back. We get Beans back in the game.
We get back in the game. But man, it's crazy. We're going to take a quick break and you go for a quick slash, and we'll be back ASAP. Right. Question that I have, Dan, right? And it's about discipline, bro, because I definitely feel like you have become more disciplined throughout this. Would you say this is the most disciplined you've ever been in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's yeah.
Do you think it's like
I've been disciplined at like
different
like
stage?
Fitness wise, I've definitely been disciplined. Like when I played sport, I was quite disciplined. When I was younger, last year I was right up until I made it to the peak. I was so disciplined. Like I was very disciplined.
Yeah.
But I think it's not that I'm less or more disciplined now. I think I'm just a little bit more street smart now on how to apply this discipline going forward and make it not just a little transformation phase, so make it like an actual, just a normal thing. Like, exactly. I just train and I just kind of keep.
Where you build it into your habits and lifestyle.
Yeah, that's the main thing to take out of this one. Is it's not just a transformation. You're like, oh great, you're in good nick, and then it's just going a mad one now for a few months. Okay,
then leading on to my next question would be like, what's one quality that you possess now that you may have not have had before?
I wouldn't say I didn't have drive, but I am as driven as I am now. I'm going back to college in September. I'm doing all right in my job. I'm a gig.
Yeah.
One thing I've dropped off on, just mainly because we've been like training so vigorously and heavily the last while, I've dropped off on actually producing tunes. So that's actually something I do want to get back into. I'm in the process of trying to build a studio on the gaff, setting up ways and doing that. But I that's the next thing I need to take it now is with this drive that I've developed and the hunger that I have.
Man, I'd love to see where you go with this, man.
I would like to get, like, the one thing I did turn a blind eye to the last 4 months or however long we've been doing it is making music, and I'd like to get back into that properly now. Do you know what I mean?
You picked up a few tunes for being in here as well.
Do you want a gig?
Man,
do you want a gig?
Do you know what I'm thinking, bro? I'd love to get a fucking set of decks.
Man, do you know what, right? I swear to God, sometimes you come in here and you'd be like, I'm not even arse, and the Kaiser bike be out, and you'd walk in and you'd be like, yes, man. I don't even want to train. I just want to sit here and groove.
Music elevates you, bro. I think it's one of the most.
Do you know what I noticed? Right, you never train with like intense training music. It's always just nice and it's like it's nice music that I'd listen to and I'd dance to. Do you know what I mean? And I actually heard a quote before where it's like, you should try and get into the habit of training without like the boom boom music and the real something that gets you going, because you try and find that motivation internally. Do you know
well, you think it, man. Think of like I just think you're lifting someone's frequency with music, and I think training should be fun. Like it shouldn't be like, oh, I need to do this. It should be like, I can't wait to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Having that attitude where you're like enjoying your training. I think that's one thing that you picked up probably from this, from my perspective, is like you enjoy training now. Where I don't know if you had that before. Like, did you actually have a love to train?
Yeah, well, last year, obviously, when I got in shape, I focused so much on that deadline that I didn't think of the aftermath. I just kind of fell off the bandwagon. And now I'm kind of like,
you're thinking further ahead.
Okay, we've done it. We're here at the podcast. We're at the end line. Do you know what I mean? And let's see where we can go from now. Like, and as I was saying earlier on, I was like, let's see where October. What can it be like in October? Do you know what I mean?
Because
I don't have to kill myself. Like, I'm already in good nick now, so I don't have to kill myself. I just need to keep training. That's all I need to keep doing. And then in September time or whenever I want to do like a 4-week period where I just don't drink and I keep the food nice and rigorous and tight and stuff like that, I can really apply myself, but I can still enjoy myself while also keeping the training high. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. But that's what it's all about, man. You have to live life at the same time. Like, I'm a big believer in that as well. It's like, okay, you're regimented and you're disciplined with your training, But the pain of that, man, because it is painful, bro. You're going through hard sessions, although you enjoy them. They're tough. They have to be hard, man.
Right, they are.
In the fucking trenches,
that
bro.
That Kaiser bike, man.
Man, that builds character.
Yeah.
Think about that, man.
Yeah, absolutely it does. Yeah, there's no hiding place in the Kaiser bike.
No. So going back to that question, like, is there a quality in particular that you feel in yourself that you've built over time? Like, is there
mental or physical?
Let's go both.
Physically, chin-ups, pull-ups, whatever variation.
But what characteristic? What like is it like? I don't be giving you words. Consistency.
Consistent, because as I said to you, the last couple of times I've got in shape, I've been consistent up until the point where I've finished training and I am in shape, and then the consistency has dropped off. This time, I think the consistency will just stay, and I'll never do a transformation, whatever again. I'll just gonna keep training and see where it takes me.
It's beautiful.
Consistency, I will roll with that one. I'm trying to think of another one that I can give you, but like as I said, I've had drive before. I think it's just a consistent drive now is another quality that I take. But if you're looking for one single one, it's consistency.
I love it, man. Well, look, man, if I can offer you anything and for you to take away anything, that's the best thing, man. Because man, like I said, man, consistency doesn't end. That's why it's so difficult. Consistency goes on and on. There's no like end point. It's not like if I get there, no consistency go past that. And it's forever, man. It's infinite. You know what I mean? There's no finite thing, but it just keeps on going. Yeah. Keeps on going. Which is a beautiful thing. Is there anything in particular that we didn't touch on so far that you'd like to mention? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Do you know what we missed out on, right? That one thing that we never done. Well, we did do, but we dropped off on because we had to get so strict on the train, is the hand-eye coordination. And I forgot. I only thought about this like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
I'm telling you now, right? That was one of the main reasons, right? Where at the start of the year, where I was like, I want that. I want to try that. I want to see what the benefit is from that. Yeah, that is just it's so novelty. It seems so novelty. It's a novelty, man. But it does. It switches you on. Like
we got Mr.
We have if no one believes me, we have the cameraman here who's actually a point of reference. Beansmar has experienced this.
Ian, would you like to take a seat for a minute and talk about hand-eye coordination? He's good right now. But we will get Ian back on at some stage. But that was maybe something that attracted you in. I eased off. I did ease off it, man.
Well, we had to.
I think
we had to put focus on other areas.
Yeah, I think it's important.
There's only so much you can do in an hour and a half or whatever. Like.
I think with that as well, man. It's very because obviously we're going to be in the online space now, which is a different world altogether. It's very hard to teach someone how to do that without having someone else there with them, man. But that's a great thing, man. One thing I've realized recently as well, because we had a few training sessions where we done together in FBT. Having a training partner is really important as well, man.
It just on the days you don't want to be there, if you have someone to train with,
it's accountability.
You know what, you get a kick off them. Do you know what I mean? If you're not arse training and you just
there's a bit of competition there, man, and you're encouraged.
But it's good competition. Do you know what I mean? You're doing it, and even if you're training with someone, like I go training sometimes with my missus, and obviously, like as a bloke, I can lift heavier weights than her. But you know what I mean? We bounce off one another. She can spot me while I'm benching. You know?
And it's just about habit.
You need these little things. Like
I think that's a big.
We're training with someone who's big, and that's something that I can't wait to start doing now.
Looking at that
I'm more freed up because we were very intense in the sense that we were always here. Training, do you know what I mean? Now I've got a lot more free time that I can go to the gym or
meet up
I can go to another gym and go to someone else's gym, do you know what I mean? And train with someone else and just get a pump on, do you know what I mean?
That's it.
It keeps it fresh.
And
that was something that we were good at. We kept it fresh. I mean, we went to the park. We didn't touch on the park. We went to the park.
We had different environments, which is really important, man. Because
what's the place in Finglas called, the gym?
West Side. Yeah.
And we went to the park, West Side, FBT here, down the beach. Never made the distributor, but we managed to rotate it in the sense that there was still enough places to keep the training fresh.
And that's very important. If any coaches are listening to this, man, environment change is really important. And the reason for it is when you're in a new environment, you have a new experience, things are fresh. You need to keep your brain stimulated as well, man. Because imagine we done every single session. You would get bored of coming here, man.
Yeah. It gets repetitive.
We were quite lucky with Newbridge Park down in Donabate. We had FBT and Swords. We went to West Side, which is Finglas. And then the last 2 or 3 sessions, we took it down to the beach in Donabate. And had you doing sand dune sprints, you know what I mean? They fucking
made a difference to me though, because I was coming down and I was like,
I don't want to be here again.
The fucking thought of that Kaiser bike right now is melting my brain.
But now it's a different thing, man. It's different. What fresh. It is, man, it's different stimulation.
It's fresh.
But that goes for anything, bro. That goes for the music you listen to. That goes for the environment.
You need to keep your palate fresh.
You do, man, because it enhances just the experience of your own mind as well, man. Like the one thing I think we all struggle with, man, especially if you can't be in the same environment over and over again because your brain gets sick of it. The one thing your brain doesn't like is predictability. Is knowing if I go here, I'm doing this. It likes variety. Like that saying goes, man, variety is the spice of life, man. It really is, bro, because it's like, I'm I'm having something new here. I haven't met this person before. This new environment, everything is different to me, but I'm taking it in, and by taking it all in, it's stimulating. Like, and it's enjoyable then, you know what I mean? Especially in the environment of a gym. Okay, we're about to round this up, Dan. It's been an absolute pleasure of a conversation,
full circle, here we are.
Tell me, is there anything, you mentioned like running and bits and pieces, but you have mentioned one thing in particular to me that kind of sticks out in my own mind, and I will mention it. But I want to ask this question first. Is like, what do you hope, is there any new activity you'd like to go and do further on now? In particular?
I think me and my mate Jack, right, same fellow who called me fat earlier on, by the way, I'm not forgetting that.
Said you had a bit of timber. Thank God he did, man.
Yeah, well, this is it. But we've been dilly-dallying for the last while saying, let's join KF. Let's join KF and Swords. Let's start MMA. Let's try that. I think I might try that next. Either that or bridge combat in Donna Bay.
Yeah.
Not to go out and box the head off it. Just a different form of training. Do you know what I mean? Instead of just going in and doing push-pull legs or doing whatever split, it's just doing 2 sessions in KF. Do you know what I mean? It is, man. That's one thing.
You're adding a skill.
That's one thing I'm considering. I like Jimmy Farron's been hounding me to go back and play GA next year, so maybe that I might like go into the winter time.
Is that something that really interests you though? Because do you want to be slogging it out?
I always say yes, and do you know what? The only thing puts me off is it's just committing to 2 sessions a week and training and the whole team environment. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I can manipulate my training to suit what I need to do in life solo.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that puts me out. I'd love to play a challenge match right now. I'd love to play like a
7-a-side GA match.
No, not even, just 15 on 15. I'll throw me on the pitch anywhere. I'd love to play a match, but actually going back and committing to the team, etiquette and the training, and
you think it'd be too much?
You know, matches every weekend. Like I DJ in clubs on the weekend. I'm out till 3 in the morning. Do you know what I mean?
You're not going to be waking up for a game.
Not really.
So would that be off the cards?
Never say never.
Never say never. But
I'm going to see where the winter takes me first.
Let's be realistic about for 2 seconds, right? So weighing it up, right? So the guy with the commitment, it's a matter, because that's what guy is, man. And I fucking love the sport, and that's how we became close. So we went to secondary school together, played for St. Pat's at Donna Bay, had a fucking ball of a time. Coached by some great managers down there as well. Guy's a huge commitment, bro. It's a massive commitment, and for your schedule, the outside looking in, I think it would be too much for you. But what I like that you're saying right now is learning some self-defense.
Something.
Man, I think that adds more.
It's just a new form of training. Do you know what I mean?
If you're to commit to one, if I'm going to question you right now, what are you going to commit to?
I'd probably commit to going and train in MMA or something.
There you go.
It's solo. Do you know what I mean? I can pick the sessions to suit my schedule.
If I was you, bro, I'd invest in that. Why not?
I said to Jack, because we've been, the two of us, every time we have a few points, we're like, we're on the KF, aren't we? Come on, we go. But I said, you know what, I'm back the first week in August. I'm getting this tattoo touched up in the 14th, I think, or it's something like that, the 10th or whenever it is. And then after that, after a week, I'm free then. So I said, that's when I intend on trying it.
Yeah. I love it, man. I think you should go
I'm after saying it on camera there. I'm publicly committing to it now.
There you go.
Fucked.
That's what I was looking for.
I'm not going anymore. I don't want to go.
Mr. Farrell, bro, it's been an absolute pleasure of a conversation. It's been an absolute pleasure training as well, man. I am delighted to see where you are now. I think you're a better person for, like I said, yourself, everyone around you, your family, your missus, everyone, bro. I think it's incredible to see when you put your mind to something what you can achieve. Mm-hmm. And I think you're living proof of that, man, which is just brilliant to witness and to be a part of. So, yeah, may this journey continue, because you're now the poster boy for what I've got going. The Adonis project is coming next. And
I actually didn't know if you were going to name drop it yet. Now
there we go.
We have an exclusive.
I
didn't know if you were going to name drop it.
The Adonis project is something that I'll be doing. I'll be now transitioning away from coaching people online. Sorry, from coaching people in person to coaching people online. So I'm very excited for that to come to fruition, which is very soon in August. But we'll definitely
before we finish that, I guess from my end again, thank you for your time and effort. You really, the two of us became invested with one another. I saw you probably more times than I saw my own missus. Like, we voice know each other more than I do my own missus.
But this is what it's
about.
about.
What I mean? So again, thank you for your time and effort.
No problem, bro. Listen,
we have made it to the point that we talked about for so long, which is this podcast.
Well, do you know what it's about, bro? It's about talking about that point consistently, because now we're here. Now you're in great shape. Now you look fantastic. Now you feel motivated to take on life. Now you're more masculine, have higher testosterone. For me, man, you done it. You know what I mean? I know there was things that we didn't touch on, such as running, push-ups, maybe dips, and etc. But for where you are now,
it's all the same principle. Though.
It is.
Just quickly the push-ups and stuff like that. I can do a good few push-ups. Now,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, you can.
Do you know what I mean? But again, it's the same principle with the chin-ups. The whole thing is the same.
We'll end on a high, bro, because there's one thing that the people don't know about, and we haven't mentioned just yet, and we have an extended amount of footage. And come the end of August, the beginning of September, there's a little documentary coming about yourself.
I'm on the telly.
And it will be on YouTube, exclusively to YouTube. They've got the rights. It'll be called Danny Danny Farrell Forever coming the end of August, which I'm very excited to release a 6-part series. So that'll just encapsulate basically all the training we've done.
From myself, right, as I said earlier on in the podcast, like I've lost all the earlier footage, so I don't fucking know what's going to be in this. Like I'm dying to see it, to be honest. I've lost everything. Yeah. I got a new phone like 3 or 4 weeks ago, so I've only got fresh footage, and I'm constantly deleting my camera roll to save footage for session TV.
Yeah.
So I've nothing, so I'm dying to see it myself.
It'd be very interesting, bro. And you happy enough going ahead with Danny Farrell Forever? McGregor won't be running after you.
Oh yeah, we might get done for copyright actually.
No, not at all.
Leave that with me. Let me ponder on that thought over a nice pint of San Miguel on holidays.
There we go. Mr. Farrell, it's been a pleasure, bro. Thank you so much for your commitment, bro, and everything.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap, boy. Thank you very much. Everyone, good night and God bless. All the best.
Sláinte.
Sláinte.